Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, back into the Big Daddy Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our PBEM challenge with the devious Lodric. Lodric has been on the front foot from the start, as he should be. He has certainly cast a net far and wide around the Philippines, Hong Kong, Malaysia. We've had some problems getting some of those what are often doomed ships out of there. Now, sometimes if you get a fairly inexperienced player or someone that doesn't really get the big concept of the game, you can get a lot of those ships out. You can get them to Australia and other places, and they come in handy later on. But against a good player, you should expect to lose most everything out of Hong Kong, a lot out of the Philippines. Now, maybe not as many subs as we lost this time, certainly. But you're going to lose stuff out of Palembang and out of Malaysia. So Lodric has done a good job. A hat tip to Lodric of putting those nets out there to catch some fish that are swimming away as fast as they can. But a lot of these things we just don't have a chance to get them out. He's got destroyers down there which are twice, three times, really three times as fast as a lot of these cargo ships, and there's not a whole lot you can do about that. But we are going to go into the combat save this time. You can see I've got it highlighted here. The combat save for the 12-13 turn and the 12-14 turn. And so this is just a replay of what happened when I sent the orders back to Lodric and he loaded up the game. The game then takes his orders, my orders, puts them all together into a stew. And let's see what happened. The reason I start on this screen is because the minute we select this, yeah, off it goes. There's no stopping it. So here we go, and I'll chime in where it's appropriate, and we'll check out what happened in early or mid. We're now in mid-December. Let's go. All right, get the old password in there. And off we go as we center over the Japanese home islands. Do, 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 do. It is December 13th, 1941. This will be both days of this turn, December 13th and 14th. We'll do the 13th first, or the game does it day by day. So we'll watch the 13th first, and then as soon as it's gone through every single routine here, then we'll go through the 14th. Now you can see we've still got a lot of struggling things that we're hopeful to get out of Manila and get out of Hong Kong, but this was already on fire. It's just a matter of time. We'll see the shells come in. There we go. Bop, 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 bop. AK Hinsang shell hits two, torpedo hits two. It immediately sinks. You can see here he's got a light cruiser and six destroyers out there. That's gonna take out a cargo ship. I don't care how tough the cargo ship is. Now you'll notice there was no mine sweeping this time. One thing I would suggest is once you get the initial mines out of Manila and out of Singapore, really you can take all of those minesweepers and get them out of areas of danger because they're not going to do you much good after the first couple of turns. All right, we'll see another AK here, I believe, or this could be a destroyer. It is, yeah, it's the Pillsbury. Shell hits six, torpedo hits one, and immediately sinks. You may say, oh my God, we lost a destroyer. Now, these are the early war, I mean, they're really the interwar destroyers for the U.S. They're 5-point ships. We don't want to lose any, of course, but if you're going to lose a destroyer, lose one of these early ones that probably dates back, into the 30s. It's just not, a great ship in any stretch of the imagination, but, we don't want to lose them. But we lost this one. Nothing we could do. Pillsbury done for. You can see he's got a major task force out here. This looks like four cruisers potentially. I'm not sure what we have here. We've got a mine layer, the Golden Lu. Shell hit 17, and that's sunk. And I was right. Yeah, those are four cruisers and four destroyers. So a very strong force. Now you'll see a bunch of things during this turn merging off the U.S. West Coast as we go through here. I have sent every destroyer we've got in Pearl Harbor out to meet high value task forces coming into Pearl Harbor. As you'll see, he's got a lot of sub activity out here. Speaking of which, we've got the SSRO 62, the DMS Boggs here. Now, this is a destroyer minesweeper. It does have some ASW capability, and so it's these just anything that's got a D or destroyer is going to be pretty fast. It's hard for the subs to hit those, and it also does have ASW ability. Didn't do much here. It searched around for it, but we couldn't find it. Now we're going to see some more cargo ships go down. That's always not fun. Uh, this is an XAK. I think this is probably a 5 or 6 point ship, the Fashan. He's got two battleships, okay, two destroyers. He's got these destroyer tenders along, interestingly enough, and two TBs. So, okay, torpedo boats. That's what those are. So we've lost some low value ships for the most part. Here's another one. It was already on fire. Nothing that was never going to get out. The Escalante shell hits 11 and it's sunk. So far we've lost three cargo ships and a destroyer. Um, you know, he's doing a nice job making sure none of that gets out. And really, unless we get total victory, which is what we're going to go for, we're going to try to, take over the Japanese home islands. But if we don't get that, if we're not able to, all these little points, 5 here, 3 there, 2 there, they all add up. I generally play under the idea that anything under an 8 point ship, I'm willing to put into harm's way. Anything above that, I try to, shield at least early on in the game. I'm talking about. Um, the cruiser, Otago, this is right off Mersing. Now, at Mersing, we have Australian troops there. We've got an Australian battalion, and they are uh, pre invasion bombarding it. We do have 42 coastal guns out here, so there's a possibility we could get something in on them. We'll see. 24 casualties reported there, and his troops are starting to unload on the beach at Mersing. Now you'll see this. He lost one gun, one vehicle on that unload. You'll see this with good Japanese players. They'll try to get into Mersing because they can block stuff coming back this way. Now I don't think it's gonna. We've gotten a lot back here already, so we should be okay. The cruiser. Well, he had cruisers and destroyers out here. Same idea, pre-invasion action, so it's bombardment. All right. Amphibious assault at Mersing here. He took 108. What is this? 108 troops. Oh, Task Force 108 troops. I'm sorry. The small print. Japanese ground losses 168. So he lost 168 troops trying to land at Mersing. All right, and that should do it for the night phase. He amphibiously landed at Mersing at night. That's not fair, Lodric. All right. More unloading, more bombardment. All right, he bombards the coast there. We take six, or he took 6 casualties. We took 17 casualties. Some of his bombardment must have been some stray shells hitting his troops. We took 18 casualties there. I was hoping our coastal guns might do a little number on him there, but no such luck. Aha. Now, this is the big headliner of this turn. You see, he's got a massive task force, including battleships, coming for Rabal. Now, this transport I had sent out to try to get to Kavang, which you'll see right up here. I was trying to get to that and get the infantry battalion off of there and take it to Rabal before he got to Rabal. No such luck. We ran right into him. Now, that's a 15-point ship. That is not great. Okay, the McDewey takes 7 shell hits, 1 torpedo hit, immediately sunk. Dang it. That's too bad. All right, well, It is what it is. We've got some more small cargo ships out here. So now that we've lost a transport, a destroyer, and 3 cargo, make that 5 cargo. Now these are 1 point ships. They're exactly what I send in to these um, areas. Spearfish. All right, here's the Spearfish, our submarine, going after a Japanese PB, or maybe he's going after us because he got a depth charge in the water. Yep, it's an ASW attack. And what do I mean by that? If when you look up here, it'll say sub attack if we found him and fired first. It'll say ASW attack if he found us, and you can see he did get some depth charges in the water if we look through here, but he didn't hurt us. He didn't hit us. We also did not do anything to him. SS 164. This is a Japanese sub right down here in this strait. Now, I have got a lot of destroyers, and that's what we have here is a destroyer, and we found him. The Jupiter found this Japanese sub, ASW attack. We got 3 hits on him. Um, he eluded it first. We sighted it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing where we dropped the depth charges, but we did, and we got 3 hits on him. That's, what we got to try to do. The Sea Lion is out here, one of our subs, trying to get up in his cargo lanes, but he's got a destroyer here. Let's hope the Sea Lion didn't get hurt. It does not look like it did. Excellent. Okay, this was an ASW attack. Um, Now then, this is him off of the eastern coast of Hawaii. Japanese sub out here. Our destroyers have found it. Now, well, let me back up. He found us. Now, I would love it if he keeps trying to attack destroyers. It's very hard for submarines to hit these destroyers. And now we know where his location is. Hopefully we have things running that way because like I said, I've got a million destroyers out by Pearl Harbor. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, we got the Spearfish here. Now this is a sub attack. Hit but no explosion. And that's the problem you have as the Allies early on. That was a Mark 14 torpedo, I'm almost certain. And he hit it. He hit the cargo ship. And the damn torpedo didn't explode. That's the problem you have. Now, we didn't take any damage out there on the counterattack, so excellent. All right, this is a Japanese sub. This is through the Straits of Palembang, the Francois. It's a low value tanker. Now, usually tankers are worth about 12 to 15 points. They can go higher than that if they've got a huge hold. But here, the Francois is a kind of a low value one. He did get the drop on us, but luckily the Francois did not get hit. And that's really news because usually those tankers are sitting ducks if the subs find them. All right, we're going to see a lot of sightings here, and I'm just going to go through it. We'll look at this when I set up the turn. Okay, the first bombing of this turn. Now, coming in on Clark Field, we got Warhawks and 35As up against Zeros. That's not fair. Now, he's doing a sweep to get our cap engaged so that he can bring the bombers in later. 29 Zeros. We got 21 aircraft up, 8 of which got destroyed. You can see here the Zeros sweeping at 20,000 feet. So he's coming from above us because the Zeros can do that. The Zeros are just better aircraft than anything we have at the start, really. Bombing in China. All right, he's going to do a lot of bombing in China. Here's the Mabel or 5 Mabels coming in. This land unit here, which is the 88th Chinese Corps, we're trying to get it out of here, but he keeps interdicting it with bombing, and we're having a hard time making any kind of headway. Now he's going to hit up here by Chengteng. Okay. A little bit northeast of his position, you can see he's been coming down this road, which is an interesting strategy. I'm trying to figure out exactly what he's trying to do in China. I don't think I've determined that yet. All right, more bombing here of this unit in China. 10 Sally's in. Now he's bombing here. Now we've got all of these units coming back on these roads, trying to get behind the river and come help at Changsha. Unfortunately, he's got stuff coming down here. You can see his units here. He's also bombing quite strongly there. All right, now we've got units that are trying to get up and out of Tavoy. I'm leaving the one at Victoria Point. He would never make it anyway. But out of Tavoy, we're trying to get up to Mole Mine, and he's interdicting that with bombing. It's a wise move. All right, more bombing there. We're taking some casualties, 20 or 30, each bombing run. But the problem is, of course, hey, we did get one of the Marys by flak that time. The problem is they can't move and it's disrupting them. And so they're going to eventually not be a very good fighting force. Now he's bombing outside of Canton. We took like 24 casualties there. More bombing. Again, this is just to the southeast of Yan'an. Yan'an was really controlled by the communist Chinese. I got a lot of them back at Cyan at this point, but eventually we'll move them up to Yan'an. But as you can see, he's got designs for up here in the north. I think he's trying to isolate those troops that are a little bit north of there. Okay, now he's bombing into Allure Star. Allure Star, we tried to get these units out, but unfortunately they're just getting interdicted over and over. So now I'm just going to leave them here and give him something to think about. Now he's hitting into Georgetown. And you'll see this even from the AI. The AI will just bomb the hell out of Allure Star and Georgetown usually and try to keep these troops here. Now, we got almost everything out of Georgetown. Allure Star, we did not, but that's okay because I think I just might make them have a dramatic last stand at Allure Star and hopefully slow down some of his units getting to Singapore by a week or so. I'm hoping. I mean, we'll see. All right, we got a lot of sightings going on here. He's now over these cores. Now this is Changsha here, right? This is the key to the center. He's got really strong forces here, and now he's bombing, trying to keep us from getting anything back into Changsha. Okay, he's approaching these division. This one is the one that's holding, or it's an army that's holding just across the river here. I was been trying to hold on to that. Makes it easier for us to get out. Now this is an offensive bombing run by us. Why is that? I've got all of our torpedo bombers and level bombers here at Singapore on naval attack. They see these transports over here and they're going to go after them. Now, who knows how successful this will be, but most of these aircraft are doomed anyway. All right, and you can see this. We did get 4 Blenheims out and over the ships. Now we're trying to get away. So if you ever watch these combat animations, the first thing is the approach. Then you see if it gets over the target. And then the third animation is, okay, now us returning to base. Do they have any pursuit? As you can see, one destroyed, one damaged Blenheim. Did we hit any ships? No, it does not appear we did. Oh, we went after the Hoggy. Nothing done there. We're going back in again. We've got Blenheim, Swordfish, Buffalo's running escort. We'll see. I mean, he's got a lot of air already over here. Sometimes you'll see an inexperienced player that'll bring these transports over here with no air cover. If you see that, go after these things. Hey, look, we got a hit with a wildebeest. Severe fires below deck. This is an AK, the Zuka Maru, and now we're going after another one, the Nissu Maru with a swordfish. It doesn't look like maybe we got one damaged by flak. All right, let's see if we can get out of here. Now this is his pursuit. Let's see if these guys can get out of here. So he had 9-0, 17-8, 17 Oscars total. We had 3 Blenheims, 5 Buffaloes running escort, 5 Swordfish, and 6 Wildebeests. What happened out here? Air losses, 2 and 1, and another one. So we had 3 destroyed and 1 damaged, 2 damaged Wildebeests. The Zuko Maru was hit. Bomb hits 1. And then also the Konzan Maru was hit 3 times and it's on fire. So that was well worth that bombing run. 6 Blenheims coming in unescorted. You don't like to see that usually. That's usually not going to be much luck. We take no losses. He took no losses. Okay, I'll take that result. I don't like when those go in unescorted. Certainly not against zeros. All right, lots more sightings. We got recon and whatnot. We could watch some of those, some of these turns. We'll watch all that as things, heat up even more. Let me tell you, this is a ton of action at the start. That's why I love to play a human player. You just get so much action. Here are 18 Nels in on Kuala Lumpur, so he's starting to bomb there. 98 casualties reported. And he's got four more Nels coming in on Kuala Lumpur. Looks like we damaged one of them. No casualties for us that time. He's got Nels in on Kuala again. All right, we took 24 casualties. Now he's bombing these units again. Really, he's trying to interdict those. He's trying to keep them from being able to move because, as you see, he's got an army coming down here to try to block us getting these troops out of here. Um, okay, 18 Betty's in. We took 7 casualties. Now he's going to try to attack these guys. Yeah, I mean, this is, just pure interdiction here to keep them from moving. 18 Nels in. We get 40 casualties. 3 more Nels on a follow-on run. He got 7 casualties there, or we got 7 casualties there. He's going to hit Pakau or Pakoi. Again, this is really to interdict these troops, I believe. Um, 9 Sonias. And when I say interdiction, basically if these ground units get bombed in a turn, they don't really, they don't march. Usually they go 20 in regular terrain, they go 23 miles a turn. Each hex is 46 miles wide, if that gives you an idea. But if they get bombed, they're not going to go that far, right? And that's the whole point. All right, we came back in here, air attack. Again, we're trying to hit these ships again. I like it because ultimately, like I said, these planes are fairly doomed. You could get some of them out, but most of them are tethered to Singapore, and you're going to want to keep your fighters here anyway. I can tell you in this new turn, I've dialed this back to just run cap over Singapore, but it's nice to try to get out here and hit a ship. We got 3 Blenheims through. Well, let's see if we do any damage. Looks like we got bombs in the water. We'll see. No Japanese losses. We lost. Yeah, we didn't hit the ship there. We had 1 destroyed, 2 damaged Blenheims, and 1 destroyed Wildebeest. So for the torpedo bombers and the level bombers, if you're going to keep them at Singapore, put them on naval attack and let them hit whatever the heck they can. For the fighters, you may give him a little escort the first time or two, but once he's on to what you're doing, just have them run cap directly over Singapore. He's got 12 Bettys coming into Kuala. Nothing doing there. Aircraft landing. So now we'll go into the land attack move phase. So the way this goes is usually it's naval, then air, then land. So you see all the naval action first, but that can change. I mean, sometime, and this is the British judge. Gosh darn it. We were having a really good naval turn for the most part this time, but he's hit the British judge. I know for a fact that's a 15-point ship. It's actually quite a good tanker. We had a destroyer with it. Because it is a good tanker, I gave it an escort. Let's see if we can get a little revenge on this sub. Did we? No. Gosh darn it. Now you'll remember the Jupiter is the one that hit that sub here directly in the strait, but as the turn progressed and it kept moving out here, it ran into another one. It's got heavy damage. That's going down. When there's a fire on a tanker, usually it's going down. We should get that notification pretty soon. Yeah, tanker British judge sinks. Well, that stinks. I really was going to get it out of here and not put it back in. I mean, that's 15 points. It's not nothing, that's for sure. All right, here comes his bombardment continuing on Mersing. Again, we have one Australian battalion here. I like to try to hold here for a little bit just to slow him down so we can get the other troops into Singapore. All right, that was the end of the pulse. So that's all the land attacks we really had this time. And now we're about to flip over to. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. There are more. Okay. Yeah, okay. He's attacking out here. This retreating force that's going to Temela. We tried to get it out of Kwanton. It's finally to Temela, but it got really ravaged out here. Allied ground losses 505. We took, that's us, 505. Okay, he didn't take any losses at all. Man, I find that hard to believe. 2-1 odds, but he didn't take any losses, dang it. Ground combat, okay. Wow, this is right outside of Changsha. Now we have a massive force here, but this is a bright red Japanese unit that's got about 900 in strength, maybe a little more than that, maybe 950. And these cores were trying to get back to Changsha. Um, but that ain't happening, and we probably took quite a few casualties there. He took 18, we took 1744. Wow, 100-1 casualty odds. You don't like to see that. Now we've got a fairly strong force here, 30th Chinese Corps. We'll see what we can do here. We're now retreating towards Nanyang. Okay, so he got us out of this hex and popped us up here. Once we got to the adjusted, you can see here, he had 17,000 troops, we had 10,000. He had 142 guns, we had 75. So the raw values were 564 to 230. When we get to adjusted, this is because the Chinese have terrible commanders, terrible equipment, so on and so forth. 259 to 36. He took 169 casualties. We took 3,600. My goodness. All right, he's attacking here at a lore star. I don't think he expected us to have this amount of strength here. We should do well, and indeed we do. 1 to 3 odds, so we actually had him quite outnumbered and outgunned here. He took 91 casualties. We took 69. Okay, well, I was hoping for a little better than that. Now we're trying to retreat out of Kota Baru. He's got us outnumbered here, obviously. We're just trying to get on the retreat. Actually, I was wrong. Assault odds 1 to 2. His adjusted odds were not that great. 28 to 43 on that. Now you can see everything he's landing at Mersing. This is the force he's bringing to, you know, put the siege on Singapore. So these Australians, not great. Well, oh, this is our bombardment attack. I got it. So he's trying to land. We're bombarding him, allied bombardment attacks. So we actually had pretty good odds on that. He hasn't landed a whole lot. But we're the ones that took casualties. What the heck? We must have had one of our artillery pieces misfire or something. Okay, this is the fortifications building up. We'll just zip through there and we'll get to December 14th, or day 2 of this turn. That turn was okay. My concerns, I would say, are what's going to happen at Mersing. We took a couple of really, what I think are bad dice rolls in China, and took some losses there that I wouldn't have expected them to be that large. And then we lost the British Judge, the tanker. That hurts. That's one that gets me right in the gut. And we also lost that transport that was going up by Rabaul because he's got a massive force coming to Rabaul. And so, we took a chance there. That chance did not work out. It is now December 14th. The weather forecast, at least over Japan, is clear skies. We'll see what he does. It's nighttime as a new dawn approaches. You can see all the subs he had out by Pearl Harbor. You could see it very clearly on that last shot. I'm sure we'll see it again. He's going to bombard Mersing again. This is the way you do it when you're doing an invasion. Bombardment after bombardment after bombardment. So whatever's left here is a husk of its former self. That's what you want to do. All right, onto the naval movement phase. This is just off Port Moresby, just to the south of that. We have an AKL, a 1-point cargo ship, but his submarines are here now. And yep, heavy damage. He got it. So that's going to be another cargo ship down. Again, it's a 1-point ship, but it's something we were trying to get some supply into Moresby. This is a Dutch sub. This is us right here. You can see where the action is. SS KXIV. That is a Dutch sub, and it looks like we've got a hit. Severe damage. Excellent. The Kinkasen Maru torpedo hits 1. Heavy damage. These Dutch subs are really good. We're retreating from surface combat. He's got a huge force out here. We're trying to get out of here. You see all of the Japanese subs out here. He's gotten kind of a nice S line, right? Looks like an S. Looks like one of our destroyer mine layers has run into that sub attack. That's fine. If we want anything to run into sub activity, it's something that's a destroyer capable vessel. Um, and you can see these mergings. Those are destroyers I've sent out to ferry very high value targets in. We'll see if it works. Dutch sub, this is that exact same one. You can see his cargo ship's already on fire. Looks like we've hit it again. That's almost certainly now to sink, or certain now to sink, as we got another torpedo in on it. Heavy damage. Excellent. Okay, good job, Dutch. Click your wooden shoes together. All right, now he is actually bombarding Cagayan. Interesting. So he's going to go after Cagayan pretty early here. Two battleships, two destroyers, two torpedo boats out here at. This is Cagayan. It's the main town in, the main base in Mindanao, or the southernmost Philippine island. And he's got a battleship up here, banging away. Wow. I mean, really going. Oh, he's got a lot of stuff up here. That's at Cebu. That's one of our major bases here. We did have a Stearman 75M. Wow, those are recon. Those are like interwar recon planes, but a lot of them got destroyed by his bombardment. Okay, Japanese sub out here by Pearl Harbor. Let's see what happens. This is the Ralph Talbot, so we've got a destroyer here. It's a sub attack. Hey, go for it. Let us know where you are and try to hit try to hit destroyers. Now that's not Lodrick's fault. He's got those on sub patrol, and they're going to go after the highest value targets they run into. And it just so happens I've got a lot of destroyers out there. He's again going after Mersing with bombardment as he continues to unload on the beach with what we suspect is a lot. You can see where the other battles have occurred up Malaya this time. All right, ends that 12-hour pulse. Okay, now we're into the daytime and the second pulse of each day. All right, more bombardment immersing. We got he took 15 casualties that time. So the guns of Mersing are firing back. They're getting some hits here and there, not a whole lot. So a lot of bombardment. He's trying to wear that Australian group down to where they're just not much of anything. They're going to have to move back this next turn certainly, and we'll just have to, kind of let him land at Mersing. Or we may just let them retreat. I mean, that's what they're there for. We're not going to pull those Australians out. Okay, we've got a Dutch sub in on a PB here, or patrol boat. Didn't hit it. Didn't hit it. Okay, well, fine. Now we're reacting. You can see all of the destroyers I put into this strait by Batavia. Um, this is cargo. These are 1 point cargo ships, I believe, that we're trying to get back into the Philippines. I always try to put them back in, but they're both sunk now. If we made them use up a lot of ammunition, that's the bright spot, I guess. We're trying to retreat out of there. As you can see, more mergings. These are destroyers coming out again for task forces to try to ferry them out to Pearl Harbor. Let's see if we can do it. I'd really like to put a crippling on a subfleet early on so that we can, float cargo around pretty easily here, there, and everywhere. All right, these are a bunch of sightings. I'm going to just fly through these. Okay, he's going to bomb into Manila. Well, I say bomb. These are zeros. He's doing a sweep over Manila to try to take out as much of our cap as we can. He did destroy one Warhawk. All right, now he's approaching Clark Field. Same idea. He's sweeping with his zeros to try to knock out our cap before his bombers even get here. We actually destroyed a zero. We lost a Warhawk and a P-35. All right. Starting to bomb in China again. 7 casualties for us that time. Bombing up here. You can always see the target out here on the map if you wonder. You see the animation over here, then you see the target on the map where it's actually happening. He's bombing the 88th again, just wearing that thing down to a nub, and then he's bombing right up here again. Dual purpose. He's disrupting our troops and interdicting them. This is outside Xinjiang he's bombing. These troops are trying to get across the river here and get out of harm's way. We'll see if they can do it as he bombs up here by Yan'an. Now he's coming after Allure Star again. He's got a big force coming down here to Allure Star. All right, this is just southwest of Pautao. We do have a force up here. We're going to move into this base and try to take it if we can. Now he's bombing Georgetown. I love it. This is a lot of action early on in the game, plus these 2-day turns. This is just outside of Chengchao, right? And Chengchao, very important. We're trying to get this unit up here. He's trying to bomb it. Didn't look like he had much success there. Okay, as we go through more sightings here. And we'll go over these more as I set up the turn. We've got 12 Bettys, 38 Nels in. One Nell got damaged. We took 107 casualties here at Kuala Lumpur. A lot of those units are on the move, and so they'll take a lot more casualties from bombing when they're moving, especially, on rail, as you can imagine. 35 Sallies in here just north. One was damaged. We took 23 casualties. He's now bombing just north of Tavoy. Again, these units trying to get back to Mole Mine in Burma. It looks like he missed there. I think it was bad weather. Severe storms over the target. Yeah, so he's going to have a hard time doing much here. Now, he did get 7 casualties. That could add to his operational losses, but all right. Lilies and Ida's in. Again, just to the northwest of Canton, trying to keep them from moving. Interdiction can be very powerful in this game. Sally's, that's what he's doing here as we try to get back into Kuala Lumpur. And he's trying to stop us so we can land in Mersing, get over here, and cut all of these troops off. Can he do it? Maybe. Um, All right. He's now bombing out over just to the east of Changsha. So it looks like he's going to make an early play for Changsha. That's something you really want to hold into the middle of 42 if you can. If you can't, you're playing the constant retreat game in China. Now you've got a lot of humanity out there. You can put up all kinds of roadblocks in his way, but ultimately he's got a lot better troops. Now this is us bombing. I do have naval attack coming out of Surabaya. They are unescorted. Looks like we're coming in on some destroyers. Let's see if that worked at all. I'd love to just pop a destroyer if we could. And also a light cruiser out here, the Europe. So we sent 9. No, yeah. We sent 9 of these 139 WH-3s out here on a naval attack. Looks like they didn't do much there. Uh, this is us bombing again, trying to bomb his transports. We've got Blenheims, we've got Buffaloes in. Let's see how that works out. As he does have cap up, this is well done by him. A lot of people will not have cap up for these initial landings, and you can sneak in there and get something. One destroyed Blenheim, one destroyed Buffalo. Now we got the Wildebeest coming in behind, but he gets cap up again. That's again well done by him. We took one Wildebeest destroyed. Then we've got 4 Wildebeest again trying this naval attack. Did anything sneak through? It did not, and we lost one more Wildebeest. Well, Wildebeests are not great aircraft, but if he ran If he didn't have cap up, we could maybe get something done here. But now we've got buffaloes and weirways coming in here. Looks like we couldn't get through the cap again. We lost a buffalo. We lost two weirways. All right, it was worth trying to do, but I'm going to back off the escorts now at least. Now we're trying to hit these ships out here again. We got three of these bombers through. Oh, we're on the light cruiser. Can we hit it? That would have been awesome. That would have made this a very good turn if we could have just gotten that, but we didn't. We put down three 300 kilogram bombs, but nothing hit the Ura. All right. Okay, we've got more submarine activity. Now, this is a Japanese sub right here at Macassar against a local minesweeper. Hey, that's no fair. Be nice to the local minesweepers. That's a tough job. Unloading at Mersing, more bombardment. Okay. Look at this, though. This is excellent, though. Defensive guns engaged approaching the landing force. We hit the Hakuza Maru shell hits two with our coastal guns, and that's the danger for him landing at any of these places that have bases because, we do have coastal guns at a lot of them, and we can sometimes get in. Hey, I would have loved to hit that cruiser, but we just got the cargo ship. We hit it. So that's a positive for us this turn, certainly. Now he's unloading at Mersing again. He's unloaded a lot of stuff there already. Now we go to the land move attack phase, and we'll see what he's got in store for us on December 14th. This is at Mersing. This is us bombarding, though. He hasn't landed everything, but you get an idea of all of the stuff he's brought along with him. So we're trying to bombard here. He's got 22,000 troops already on land. We've got 2,500 troops. He's got 362 guns and 203 vehicles. Yikes. 30 casualties for us. All right. And that's it. That was the only land combat on December 14th. And that's going to do the turn. So, anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Man, this has had a lot of action. I love it. I'm going to record one episode kind of showing you what my setup is for December 15th and 16th. And I'll put that up hopefully tomorrow and get the turn back to Lodric. He's doing very well. He's doing very well. I really, really like it. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a good game when you have a Japanese player that knows what the heck they're doing. So anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.